Golf 4, India Whiskey, Oscar, testing access.
Right, I'm 0 AUG, absolutely fine there. Next over to you.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Thank you very much indeed, Jeff. Oh,
Four X A T D L 1 B J W
calling all members and friends of the Pennine radio group for the Thursday evening digital night. A few on this evening so far on the log who've, I know are recently connected are Peter M0PBF, Mike and Adriana, D1BJW and D8BGT, Nick G4IWO, Bob 4XAT, and Jeff Oscar November 8 November Tango. Before we start on that list, we'll just go on, obviously, and Keith's just logged on now from the Borders, GM4JKZ. Okay, Keith. So before we start the list that's connected recently, we'll go on the ones that have been logged on for a while to see if they're joining us. Over to you there, Paul. G0TVB in the group, M0AUG. Are you joining us this evening, Paul? Nothing heard from Paul. Over there to Jim, G4JBA in the group, M0AUG. Are you joining us tonight, Jim, please? Nothing heard from Jim. So we obviously got one more. We've got Chris, who's a neighbour of Dave's down in Taunton. M7CRM in the group, M0AUG. Are you joining us, Chris, this evening? Neither. Just acknowledging that I've seen Fraser, 021JKU, log on to that as well. So, GB7HX is connected. I'm not aware of anybody who's coming through using GB7HX. But if anybody is listening at the moment and wants to join the net now, please call in. GB7HX, Liberty Monitoring, welcome. Thanks very much for making this facility available. Right. And no doubt we'll be hearing those other people on the YouTube channel. And if anybody's listening on the YouTube channel, you're very welcome to listen to that and hope you enjoy it. So we'll start from the top of the list of people who logged on this evening. M0PBF in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, Peter. Good evening, Jeff. M0AUG, M0PBF. And good evening to everyone that's on. Top of the list. I didn't realise that. I came in here about 7:15. Yeah, like 7:15. Well, I've had a busy day. I'm just trying to get myself back in order. We've been in Manchester all day, but perhaps more about that later. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, M0PB. What's your build a list? Yeah, great you could join us this evening, Peter. And we'll hear about your trip into Manchester later on. Okay, over to Nolan Joni now, and with our friends DL1BJW and DL8BGT. Good evening to you both, and over to you there, Mike. M0AUG in the group. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey, very good evening to all. I hope you are all okay and safe and sound, so to speak. We just had a close encounter of the third kind, HI, with our electronics equipment. First of all, 30 minutes ago, I tried to update the software on my Windows 11 laptop, which I am using on the shack upstairs, and it started well, and after about 30 seconds it went completely black and dead. It is still not reacting to anything. I
to all of you. This is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango from foggy northern Germany. It's here about 8 to 10 degrees centigrade during the day. And yes, the weather forecast says for any day, no rain today. And when you getting up early and looking outside, it's foggy, and when you go for a walk, there might be no rain, but it seems as if there is rain because it's so foggy. And also the situation on the electronic side seems to be very foggy, as Mike just said. So I hand the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group.
The IBDT with DL1BW in the group. Oh dear, both of you. Sorry to hear about your operational technical challenges this evening, but at least you got on the air, and that's good as well. Just acknowledging 2 more people in the group. We've got G3 SAO, John, my friend John from the Northwest, and also M1MRB, Martin, who is going to be doing the talk with us next evening, next Wednesday evening. I'll come back to you as we get down the list, gentlemen. Right, over to the US at the moment, and we'll go to our Bob. I'll see if he's got anywhere near his 1500 posters. November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AEG. Good evening, Bob. M0AEG in the group, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. I had a pretty good week with POTA, and I'll give you my update on the next go around. Today has been my bad day for some reason. I see on your WhatsApp where your side's doing good. When your side does good, this side goes downhill. Today in the last November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG returning. Sorry, Bob, we just lost you there. It looks like you dropped out. Are you still there? So we'll move on and pick up with Bob next time around. Over to Belgium there now, and Jeff. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG. Good evening, Jeff. Hope as well with both of you.
M1MRB.
Yeah, we've clearly got some difficulties on reception this end of the digital net. This is Nick, G4IWO. My apologies to those that are watching us live and those that catch up with the stream later in the week. I only heard...
And the 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG returning. Glad you could get back to us there, Bob, and we look forward to your update in the next over. Before we just move down the list, I noticed that Martin M1MRB pops in there. Have you something you want to add at the moment, Martin? Over to you. Yeah, M1MRB. No, I just thought you want to how the whole work. Oh. On MRB in the group M0AUG, yes, that's absolutely fine there. And I will call you in when you come on to your next turn, and if you've nothing to add, we can move on from there. But yeah, it's good to have you joining us on the net this evening. Right, where we were a few minutes ago. We'll go to Belgium now. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group M0 AUG. Good evening, Jeff. Hope you both okay. M0 AUG, the group 18 November Tango. A very good evening to everyone, or a very good day to you in the States there. Very good afternoon to you both, and very nice to have Mike one and he also on the net here. That's very good. Well, we are both very well. Jeff, we just entered from a couple of days. We were a couple of days away. We just entered this afternoon back home, so I have to go through all my emails each night. So quite job that is. Well, we had 12 degrees here. The weather is quite good actually. We had this morning a little bit drizzling rain, so to say, but no fog like in Germany. We had actually yesterday sun and the day before also, and it's around 10, 12 degrees. So that's very good. I will give some more details about my activities, which were limited, of course, because we were away a couple of days. But anyway. And sorry to hear there, Mike and Adriana, about your Windows 11 problems. I read about it already quite a lot. There seems to be quite some problems with Windows 11 updates during the last couple of days. And also about your OpenSpot 3, that's maybe something that I should take into account when I activate my OpenSpot, because I'm on the old Baby Star hotspot, which is still working quite well. Okay, by the way, Jeff, I don't know if you probably forget Nick to come in, because you jumped from Germany to me, and Nick was still between Germany and Belgium each time. So Mike 0 AUG, the group 18 November Tango. I remember Tango in the group M0 AUG returning. No, I've not actually forgotten Nick there, and Bob was in there as well just before you there, so don't worry, we've not forgotten our leader. And we'll go there now before we go up to the Scottish borders. G4IW are in the group M0 AUG. Good evening, Nick.
M0 AUG in the group from G4IW. Oh yeah, thank you, Jeff, and no problem whatsoever. I'll happily take my turn in the net. Ken, I'm going to give some more information in the next over, but we had a meeting of the club officers last night, minus Jeff, ON8NT. He was happy for us to proceed without him, and I've got a number of things that I can report tonight in advance of a club newsletter going out with some more information from me. But I just wanted to mention a couple of things on the first one. First of all, the WX here up in the Pennines. Currently, the temperature is down at 4 degrees, and I know it's going to drop a bit colder overnight tonight, and over the next few days, we've got some fairly deep frosts being forecast in the location here. We are very pleased that Radcom this month, the December edition of Radcom, just put as a small news item information about the launch of the Pennine Ham Club, and in particular they got in the plug for this net, which is great news. So thank you to Radcom for that. I've been doing some work this week on updating the club website, adding some separate pages, seeing that they work, which they do, and I'll carry on adding to that work over the coming weeks. And lots and lots of other bits and pieces to report back on, but I'll do that on the next over, Jeff. So, and also a good evening to Martin, M1MRB. And just to say to Martin, if he doesn't know already, but he introduced me to Karen, KD2GUT, and she's agreed to talk actually at the club on the 4th of December. I said to her that was a free date at the moment. Otherwise, it was going to be later in January. And she offered to do the 4th of December. So really pleased. We're going to have Karen, who is a very keen poter operator, and also improving her CW operating as well. So that rings true with some of our other YL members in our club, at least one of whom was on the net tonight, Adriana. And a very good evening to those that are catching up with us on the live stream on YouTube. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AUG returning there, Nick, and we look forward to the update on the next over. Two pop-outs there, Nick. I don't know why particularly. I notice you're on terminal mode, so unless the wonderful internet's having a presence again, I don't know. We lost nothing at all, but just one or two breakups there. Right, we'll go up to the switchboarders now with our friend Keith. GM4JKZ in the group. M0AUG. Good evening, Keith.
M0AUG in the group. GM4JKZ returning. Yes, good evening, Jeff, and all our listeners and members. And yeah, nice to be on again. Just for your info, Jim was probably G4JBA is probably at his engineering club tonight. It's every other Thursday. I keep telling him to take hands out, remember, Stony Ground, Defies, etc. Weather up here is currently 4 degrees. We've had some sunshine today, and believe it or not, took the dogs out for a walk in a jumper, no coat. It was that warm, so it makes a change from the murky weather we've experienced as Mike and Adriana and Jeff over there are experiencing. And I agree with Adriana, walking through the foggy weather, it's that lingering damp, small, spotty moisture that soaks everything. But none of that today. It was great stuff. So I'll have a look at the Pennine Ham website as well. I do like the drop downs on the top right hand corner, so that's coming on nicely there, Jeff. And very much looking forward to further improvements as such. I'll put it back to you and more on the next time round. M0AUG from PM4JKZ.
M4JKZ in the group M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine on that. And Nick's done well with the website there and making these enhancements. And I think he's got more in the pipeline there. So over to Fraser in Denmark now, please. Oscar Zulu 1, Juliet Kilo uniform. M0AUG. Good evening, Fraser.
Good evening, all, and nice to hear everybody. It seems a nice busy net tonight. We've had wonderful weather today. Sunshine, waterfall, cold, but 8 degrees, 7, 8 degrees, something like that. But after 14 days of grey and drizzle, it's been absolutely wonderful. And if anybody's got clear weather out, look at the moon tonight. It's absolutely fabulous. We've got some frost coming to the end of next week, I believe. Mike, the latest Windows update can take at least 45 minutes. What Microsoft have forgotten to do is put on "we're updating" or something like that on the screen. So you get a black screen, but it's still updating. If you look at your hard disk, it's working. What's happened is a lot of people have pulled the plug because they didn't think anything was happening. So they partly screwed it up, and great problems there. But Microsoft got it wrong this time, but it's a major, major update, apparently. So everything will change when you have it on your machine. I'm still sitting here as an old FART with Windows 10. I'm not interested in Windows 11 yet until I'm forced to go there. I've got friends who have and played around with it, and yeah, it's okay, but I'll stay with what I've got at the moment. The club web page, yeah, very good indeed. It's nice, and nice that the Zoom meetings are beginning to fill up as well. But it's good and well done with the hard work on that. Okay, nice to hear you, Bob. We're getting a bit worried. We haven't heard you on other fans or anything like that, but nice to hear you're there. OZ1JKU, back to the group.
OZ1JKU in the group, M0AUG. returning. Yeah, thanks for that, Fraser. And yeah, the Windows 11 update has been the one that's been causing a few problems. Right, over to John, G3FAO in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, John. Hope you and Marcus are okay.
M0AUG in the group, G3FAO, returning. Very good evening, everybody. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, we're not so bad. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I've just sucked a throat sweet in the hope that it will keep me going for the evening. Okay, on the comments on the weather, we've had quite a lot of misty weather here, and low cloud up on the hills. It's caused problems up on the motorway earlier in the week, which is a very high motorway, for those who don't know. It goes up to about 400 metres above sea level. Been quite a few delays, I think, during the week. I've also been kept quite busy by a very elderly friend of ours who we keep an eye on. He lives 20 miles away. What's that? 32 kilometres away. And we've had a few issues there this week, not least of which one of the people who visits him thought she smelled gas yesterday and phoned the gas people, and their reaction was to come out and turn his gas supply off. And he's 89 and not really able to deal with that. And so anyway, we've managed to visit him and to get that reinstated, and the gas devices have been checked and found not to be a problem today. So I don't know what went on yesterday. That's caused quite a lot of disruption here today. So I just said to Margaret, I'll come up, I'll get on the net tonight and see how it goes. Probably won't be. I might get another over and we'll see how this goes, everybody. Yes, Nick, thanks for updating the website. I did have a quick look the other day, and I think the impression I got, I didn't have long to look at it, was that the calendar was easier to see and easier to find. So that's a good move. I've not explored everything else on it yet. Okay, I'll pass it back to you, Jeff, and then I don't start croaking here. M0AUG in the group, G3SAO.
G3SAO in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine on that, John. And you did touch on the visiting that you were doing when we were on the olden net on Sunday morning there as well. So right. Martin is on the list now, so Martin, I know you didn't, you're just there listening, but I wonder if you want to make any comments on our international net. Now you've heard everybody who's on. M10 MRB and M0AUG.
Yeah, M0AUG, M1 MRB in the group. Yeah, fine business and some nice gentlemen on, as I've heard tonight, so that's well. Nick, thank you for letting me know about Karen. She's a lovely lady, and she's actually the editor of Amateur Newsline as well as one of my presenters. So very, very useful, guys. Please don't think that the ICQ are doing a takeover on you just because we're doing a number of talks for you. We are very positive about amateur radio, and we are. If we can help in any way, we always do. So I know that Frank did one for you a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing one next week, and you've got Karen. And you may be able to get, if Nick wants, you might be able to get one or two others. But as I say, we're here to support you as much as anything else because I like what you're doing. I think the international friendship is great. I'm not travelling quite as much as I do normally, but all in all, I think things are looking good. So that's where I'm going on that one. I'm not going to talk too much about
What the hell? I'll be in the group M0AG returning, yes, fine on that. And we look forward to the talk next week and your colleagues in the future then, Martin. Right, back to the top of the list again now. I'll just put a call out to Chris in case he is going to join us. M7CRM in the group, M0AUG. Are you coming on the net this evening, Chris? I think it's from the 7CRM. Apparently it transpires that Chris is a neighbour of Dave at G6 FM. In fact, I think he's his next door neighbour, and Dave has been helping him to get on the air. But obviously Dave's not on this evening either, because I think he's had other issues to contend with. But if you're listening there, Chris, that's absolutely fine. Right, well, on top of the list of the people who've logged on this evening again. M0PBF in the group, M0AEG. M0AEG. Well, first of all, I've had problems with this one. I have problems with Windows almost every time it does an update. It knocks my FT8 right out of the park. I have learned by now how to cure the problem. It's truthfully but a lot of looking around, but I've now found a simple way of curing the problem. I just do a menu reset something out now while I read my FT8 settings back in again, and everything works, but didn't do that to upgrade. Actually, I was shutting down on Tuesday evening. So it is rather on the radio. Nothing of any particular interest. Some FT8 mainly Europe, some contact. A little bit on that HMX, which somewhat surprised. Either of the HF areas I've got would tune up to 8, but functional to window and did work quite well on HF. So that was. And otherwise, it was the day-to-day of Manchester. We'll say that. So that's it. M0AUG and 0PBF. 0PBF in the group, M0AUG returning. Your audio level was a bit down on that over there, Peter. We could hear you, but it was not as clear as you first came on. I don't know whether you're not so near to the microphone that you're using or what, but it's something along those lines. But good to have you on. Over to Northern Germany again, the L1BJW with the 8 to BDT. M0AUG in the group. Over to you there, Mike.
L1BJW. First of all, thank you for the advice about Windows or regarding Windows 11, especially to Fraser. I was just taking a look at the notebook and it's still black out. But I'll leave it on and I'll put a watch on it, so perhaps it will restart later on. Let's keeping my fingers crossed. Radio-wise, there was not much on this past week. Did some FT8 and FT4 on 10, 15, 12 and 20 meters, but nothing spectacular. A little bit of California, St. Martin, FS stroke, I think a Spanish station being there as a tourist. Colombia, Japan. One thing, CW was very nice, working Alpha India Zero Yankee again from North Dakota. That was nice, and there was absolutely no problem with 50 watts and the infrared half wave. I noticed that FT8 and FT4 in the local early evening is very good to Australia and New Zealand. I made some tests with FT8 and FT4 at about 7 p.m. local time, which is 1 hour ahead of the British time. And there were some nice results from PSK reporter on 30 and 20 meters in Australia and New Zealand for my signal of 50 watts and infrared half wave. And in case of the 30 meters, I was using a long wire in the attic, so an indoors antenna. So not bad. It's worth to be watching. To be watched. And another thing to be watching might be the aurora again. The K index is climbing up at this moment, and I saw on an app I've got on my mobile telephone that the aurora index in northern Scandinavia is unusually high, and the lesser index is already reaching down very much to the south, much more than the last few days. So perhaps the probability to see some northern lights again in the near future, weather permitting, of course, especially if it's not cloudy, and I'm hoping for that. That would be really nice. So I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, radio-wise, on my side, I have nothing very interesting to report. On the weekend, we had made some tests on QRP from flat, and this was quite nice up until the point where the Aircraft tuner, the mini tuner of Aircraft, stopped to tune. This was quite a problem, and the problem is we have had in Germany a distributor for Aircraft devices, but this shop had closed, and yes, at the moment there is no distributor and no one who repairing Aircraft devices here in Germany. There is a possibility in Italy. I've just written to the firm, but up until now I've got no answers. And now we are trying to get in contact to Lots Electronics in Switzerland, who is a distributor of Aircraft and always on the ham radio there. But this might be a problem because of the customs there. But I think he had written that there is a solution, that there might be no customs problems. I don't know how to manage this, but let's wait and see. But we have some other tuners here with which we can operate when we are transmitting with the QRP radios, but the Aircraft tuner has been this see that it doesn't work up until now. So these are the news here. Many things are going wrong, but I'm hoping that we'll fix it. So I have the microphone back to M0 AUG.
With the on BJW in the group, M0AG returning. I'm sorry having problems with the Aircraft as well, and and also having difficulty trying to get it repaired there, Adrian. And I hope that gets itself soon resolved. Everybody's having troubles with the IT side of Windows 11 and everything that goes with it at the moment. And I'm sure it'll sort itself out if you just keep it on overnight and see what happens by tomorrow morning. And it might be a different world again for you. Over to you there, then. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and some interesting comments there. Your comments, Mike, about the Aurora, building Aurora and the increase in the K factor is pertinent because if you look at the tropospheric ducting forecast on the internet for Northern Europe at the moment, we have definitely got lift conditions right across Northern England from moderate to high and strong as well this evening. And I know that earlier today, Ken, G4VZV, was reporting he was hearing at 5.9 one of the beacons in Belgium coming up on 2 meters. But since then, in typical Ken fashion, G4VZV has got captivated by DX on first of all 20 today, and then moving up to 12 and 10 meters. He's just put his quad loop back up at 30 feet, and he's enjoying the DX on HF this evening. So just a couple of things. We met last night, a group of club officers. One of the things we've decided to do is to send out a separate members newsletter. So although we send regular emails with information about the specific upcoming meetings, we haven't done one with other information in it. So we're going to do that. And one of the requests that we're going to make is that every month we would like to really feature an individual member with their help, of course. We're going to ask club members if they would like to write a short column for the members newsletter just about, you know, their setup, what they enjoy in radio, possibly some photographs and a bit of text, and publish that every month just to feature some of the things that our individual members get up to. And that seems to me to be, you know, ties in with the comment that Martin M1MRB made, and that is we're building a very, very nice fusion, if you like, between the local members we've got up here in South Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, Lancashire, Merseyside, Greater Manchester, up here in the north of England. We're building a nice fusion between them and some of the members we've got on the digital net tonight, and others, of course, as well, that come along to the regular online meetings on Zoom. And I think that's just fantastic for our local members here, many of whom are quite young and new to amateur radio, but also for the club as a whole. And I think we are kind of trying to just improve it all the time. And we've got lots of ideas that will be published in that newsletter. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Or IW, the group M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine on that, then they can look forward to seeing the newsletter, and pleased that the officers had a meeting to raise other things apart from the normal newsletters that we're getting for the future events. That's great. Over to you there, Bob. Everybody's anxious to see how you got on with your quota. I know when we spoke last week, you were up about trying to get towards the 1500. So over to you, Bob, for your news. November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG.
Zero AUG in the group, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. I have quite a bit here. But first of all, we've hit our high temperature for the day. It's now 9 degrees Celsius. It's getting a bit colder here. As I said earlier, today has been my worst day on the radio as far as conditions go. But however, for you, Martin, and for anyone else that's listening, on the 10th, I worked KD2GUT, whose name is Karen, and she was at
US 2152 at the time, and the CW was excellent. So I have no complaint about Karen's CW. Looking forward, I hope to be aboard on the 4th for her presentation with the Pennine group. And if I miss that, I certainly will catch it on YouTube at a later date. Now I'll go on just a second on the rekey. Parks on the Air, I'm doing very well. I did very well up until tonight at any rate. As of this morning, I had 1,476 contacts. So I can't really complain about that. I did add at least one British station, and I forget which one that was, but I believe it was G0HIO or G4JMS. Which park it was now, but now I have 8 parks in the UK, still 4 in Germany, 89 parks, of course, in Canada. So I'm doing well there. Now I want to point out something that's very critical here. I'm in an antenna restricted area, so I use a 20-meter magnetic loop, which is about a yard wide, about 36 inches round, for 20 meters. Over 90% of my contacts were on 20. On 40, I use a 17-foot telescopic whip, and the rest of the contacts probably were on 40, but over 90% of them, probably over 99% of them were on magnetic on 40. 120 meters. So there you go. I now have still 16 countries. A couple of parks I have so many contacts, and a few operators I have so many contacts with. In a couple of cases, in a few cases over 100. So there you go. Back to 0AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
November 4, Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG is saying, that's fine, Bob, you really are getting there. I'll look forward to hearing from you when you get to your 1500. And bear in mind that most of your contacts, I believe, are QRP as well. So that's really good indeed. Over to you there, Jeff in Belgium, Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG, the group of 8 November Tango. Yeah, okay. First of all, group website, it's big improvement. Very good, Nick, very nice, and it's improving, and I'm sure it will further develop. And I think thank you also, Nick, for the information about the meeting from yesterday, which I was not able to attend. Actually, I was at a nice dinner table in Chai, but anyway. Very good idea to feature a member every month, and that will be a good way to learn to know each other even better than we know each other now. So I think that's a very good idea. And thank you very much, Fraser, about your comments on the Windows 11 update. That's something which I will still have to do, I think, on my small Windows 11 machine portable that I have, which is actually the cheapest portable that I could get from Aldi, from the German retail thing. They had a promotion there, a medium laptop, and I actually like it. I never had any issue with that up till now. So I hope that will be continue like that. And congratulations, Bob. You are approaching the 1500. I think that's quite an achievement, taking into account the difficult antenna situation you have there. And concerning my radio activities, well, over the weekend, I took part in the World All Europe RIDI contest. Generally speaking, I found the conditions not as good as they were, for example, on the SSB contest a couple of weeks ago. Although 10 meters was okay, was quite good, 40 meters was good, but 15 and 20 meters was not good. And on the Sunday evening, I noticed that the radio signals became a little bit fluttery. fluttery and watery, and I think that was because of Aurora. Very strange. They sounded very strange anyway. And on 6 meters has been open on FT8 quite a lot of time. In the morning, I worked some Kazakhstan stations, also Kuwait, and I saw a VK6. I could not work him. Competition was too competition was too great. But anyway, and in the afternoon, quite a lot of USA, Canada, and I think I could work a station from Colombia. So 6 meters is still in very good shape, especially on FT8. And this week, the International Space Station is sending again slow scan TV pictures. I have seen here for us in Western Europe, at least on the continent, that maybe also in the UK, the passes started only at 5-6 o'clock in the evening, PM. So during the day there are no passes, at least not here, and probably also not in Germany, and maybe not in the UK. But from 5-6 o'clock onwards in the evening, PM, they start to come over, and after our net, I will try to catch some other pictures there. So that's the news, more or less. Back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group on 8 November Tango.
On 8 November Tango in the group M0 AUG, turning us fine and all that, Jeff, and well, as usual, we'll look to see what pictures come at the end of the evening, and thanks for your information so far. Back ordered now to Keith GM4J in the group M0 AUG.
M0 AUG in the group GM4JKZ. Yeah, fine there, Jeff, and thanks for that. And yeah, also worked the WAE RITI over the weekend. And yeah, it was a bit hard going, I have to admit. I only worked 115 stations, most of them obviously in Europe, but there was some Asiatic Russian stations that called in as well. So all in all, I agree with Jeff. It was not as good as the previous weekend or the previous fortnight. So there we go. Other radio oriented activities, FT8, just had a quick dabble on that this afternoon. It was quite amazing because easily working to Uruguay, Colombia and Malawi and China, but not one United States station until later in the afternoon, about 20 past 5 this afternoon, which was quite strange. Didn't work that many today, I must admit, but it was interesting. And St Helena Island was on, but unfortunately, I think that was on 15, if I remember rightly. No, correction, it was on 17 meters, but no chance of working that one, unfortunately. Not with all the calls going into it. Windows 10 I'm sticking with, I must admit, because I've got a couple of programs that will cost me more money if I transfer to 11. And I'm taking one of those that have gone up to 11 and steering clear at the moment, although they're not going to support Windows 10 next year, are they? They're dropping the support. But my 2 laptops are doing me proud at the moment. And the other thing I've been playing with is Circuit Maker. The free version of Circuit Maker is extremely good. In fact, if you look at some of their examples that you can download, it's quite amazing. Running things in 3D rotation and producing bill of materials, etc. Not played with it for a very, very long time, but I'm so impressed, I must admit. Okay, that's all for now, Jeff. M0 AUG with a group from GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ in the group M0 AUG returning. Yeah, lots of interesting content in there, Keith, and And your audio signal tonight on your 5100, if I dare say it, is almost as good as a UGT4. Very, very clear this evening, and well done for that one. Back over to Denmark and Fraser. Oscar Zulu 1 Juliet Kilo Uniform, M0AUG.
Well, everybody seems to be very active and seems to have had a good week since we last talked. Sorry about your, John, your gas and the people you look afterwards. Situation, the gas company could have had a backup to say, right, we turn it off, but there's a group who are coming up now in 5 minutes who will check it out and then turn it back on again if it's safe. I think that's pretty short-sighted and unfortunately probably part of the course these days. Money, 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 money. Spare, 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 etc. Or save, save, save for English. Spare, spare, spare is Danish. Anyway, 10 meters. Well, I've had some FM and AM fun on some repeaters and various other things like that to the US over the last few days, and it's been quite fun. Unusual, working mobiles in the middle of America and coming back on 10 meters FM as though it's a local contact. Fantastic. And a friend of mine down south, down in Haverseat, he has been working BK, ZL, etc. On SSB and FDA every day this week. It's 50 megahertz. It's been open, and he's never seen his like it for a long, long time. So he's been having fun. He's got some rather fantastic contacts. Also India, and some of the bits in between Singapore and that area as well. So he's done pretty well. If the Windows update doesn't work overnight and the thing looks dead, push the old power button until it reboots it up, and then it will revert to the original Windows before the update started. So you can't kill it these days unless you're very, very unlucky. As for me, it's getting late, 20 to 10, so, and we've got to be up early in the morning. And looks like tonight is beginning to cloud up, and we're going to have sort of 5-6 degrees weather overnight. So we were expecting a frost, but it's not going to happen. But the end of next week, as I said earlier, it's going to get cooler. Super. Thanks for everybody, and nice to hear everybody, and great to hear what everybody's been doing. It's very nice indeed. And Bob, congratulations. 1,400 contacts. That's not bad. Who's that one, JKU?
Who's that one, JKU? In the group M0AUG. I don't know whether that was final from you there, Fraser. I'll give you a shout on the list next time if you don't come on. That's all right. And look forward to getting you for another time if you don't. So over to John now, G3FAO in the group M0AUG.
M0 AUG in the group G3 SAO returning. Yeah, fine. Some very interesting comments from everybody there. Very interesting indeed. I've not given 6 meters much attention this year. I had a couple of years when I gave it quite a lot of attention, but not so far this year. I've been concentrating on my QRP efforts. I believe in half for myself. Not only do I use QRP, but I've also got a loft antenna in the roof space. But it's quite amazing, and I'm fascinated by looking on PSK Reporter to see where my signal has emerged. I've had very little time the past week or so, but I've had 2 sessions, one on 10 meters on Monday, when I managed to work Jeff's favourite country, which is Brazil. And congratulations on your Brazil certificate, Jeff, as well. I also worked into Lebanon and Asiatic Russia.
But more interesting was the PSK reporter spots afterwards, which showed me putting a decent signal into India and Hong Kong and Kyrgyzstan on PSK reporter. So that was very interesting. That was on 10 meters with 5 watts. And the week before, the notable contact there, the week before, on 15 meters, was Bravo X-ray 3 into Taiwan, also with 5 watts on 15 meters. So I was pleased with those, but as I say, I've not had much time for operating this week. I was interested in the comments on the K-index and Aurora, so I just went and looked at it. The K-index on QRZ.com at the moment is 2, and the auroral latitude limit is shown as about 57 degrees north. It's just north of the tip of Scotland, the northern tip of Scotland. So no doubt there will be aurora there tonight. And the only reason I could find for them, with a reasonable K-index, was the BZ magnetic component was quite negative. It was -7. -7. So I think that's probably what it was because of the auroral there. I've not looked out here yet, but I suspect it's probably clouding over now. It's usually what happens here. I've never seen them. Whether I ever will, I'm not sure. But I suppose the next 12 months is the best time. Anyway, I'm going to drop out if that's okay, Jeff. I'll listen for a while, but I'm not going to have another open. I don't think the social standard tonight. So I'm going to wish everybody 7-3, and I've timed out. I've talked too long. So many thanks, Jeff, for hosting the net, and 7-3 to everybody. M0 AUG in the group, G3 FAO, just listening for a while. The FAO in the group, M0 AUG returning, yes, fine and that, John. Yeah, the Brazil one was just one of those out of the blue. You know my restrictions here are at least I've got an external antenna. But I basically use an ATAS 120 on a triple mag mount, which is attached to the steel roof of our property, and that's it. And it was just one of those that came up, and I put a call out and got a nice thing report back again, and sent me a certificate as well. So that's well pleased with that one. Oh, it'll be interesting to hear Karen's talk, Martin. I've heard Karen's name mentioned by Don Wilbanks on all the ammunition episodes that come up where he does the amateur radio newsline. But it'll be interesting to see Karen's presentation on our own. I hope you've enjoyed the net this evening so far there, Martin. Over to you, M1 MRB in the group, M0 AUG. Lovely lady. Wildlife. Very recovered.
Oh, you did.
One member. I'll be in the group M0 AG returning. Yeah, thanks for your contribution this evening, Martin, and it's been good to have you on the net there. And I know you might want to listen to the end, but just like Johnny was on before, I won't call either of you in next time round, because this will be probably the final round that we're coming to now. And look forward to your presentation to the club on Zoom next Wednesday. But thanks again for joining, Martin. Right, back to the top of the list and time for finals, I think. Oh, and John, yeah, I look forward to catching up with you on the Ultimate Net on Sunday morning there. Over to you there, Peter, one of the other contributors to the Ultimate Net on Sunday morning as well. M0 PBF in the group, M0 AUG. M0 AUG, M0 PBF. Yes, my final. But yesterday we spent the day in Manchester. I've been going to Manchester since I was a toddler, and I never thought I would recognize it. But now, there are so many high-rise buildings. It's unbelievable. And on my way back, I was from the Castle Field. It was our industrial archaeology monthly meeting, which Castle Field Hotel. I was going from the Castle Field metro station. And they're actually building a high-rise building on top of this sort of cantilevered steel structure. It's almost over the roadway. In fact, on the roadway, they put up a warning sign that the height has been reached. And I have to say, I'm becoming this, I just don't recognize the city. I wasn't actually born in, but not very far away. But I've been coming to Manchester the tunnel. Seems strange, but perhaps I'm getting old. I just think it can't let it go. Anyway, I final. Thank you, Steve, for running the net and keeping us in order tonight. Excellently done. And thank you, everybody, for your company and your conversation. Very enjoyable net this evening. So I'll say 73 to all. And back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG, M0 PBF. M0 PBF in the group, M0 AUG returning. I think we're all advancing together there, Peter. And marches on, doesn't it? And you go to places sometimes and you don't recognise them as to how they were. Look forward to catching up with you on Sunday morning there, Peter. Thanks for joining us this evening. Over to Northern Germany for your final update, please. DL1 BJW with DL8 BDT, M0 AUG. Over to you, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey of the final. Yes, first of all, thank you very much for hosting the net, Jeff, for the good work, and also thank you, all of you, for your good ideas and interesting comments, and also for your good advice. For I can report very upliftingly that my notebook, after 75 minutes being absolutely dead, has come alive again just a few minutes ago and demanded to be restarted. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that afterwards everything will be fine, 100%. So thank you for your advice, especially to Fraser and others, of course. And so it seems to be all okay again. Hoping to hear you all in good shape next week, and perhaps even see you on Zoom, if I remember correctly. Next Zoom meeting should be next Wednesday. And until then, 73s from Northern Germany. All the very best to all of you. Stay safe, and hope to see you on the bands, perhaps even, and especially here on D-Star. I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
yeah, also from my side, thank you very much for this interesting evening, and Jeff for running the net was very interesting as always, and it's always a pleasure to be part of the net. So I wish you all a pleasant evening and a nice weekend, and to see you soon down the log or on Zoom next Wednesday. Bye bye. 73 and 88. This was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango, handing the microphone back to M0 AUG for the.
DL8 BGT with DL1 BJW. Thank you to both you, Jenna and Mike, not only for your contributions to the Thursday night, but obviously thank you for being long-time members of the club as well. And, contributions are always interesting from the two of you with the experiments you make. I'm glad that we got some spiritual influence down the line from Denmark there to you, Mike, to get the notebook up and running again. So thanks for joining us this evening, and we look forward to catching up with you on the net next Thursday and on the Zoom next Wednesday. So 73 to 88. Over to you there, Bob. We'll let Nick do the wrap up later on. So November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group. M0 AUG for your final, Bob, please.
Chief Group 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. Very interesting net. I'm so happy that I was able to join again this evening. And believe it or not, just about every net I learned something. And I learned about the update tonight. So there you go. And thank you very much for running the net, Jeff. I look forward every week to getting on, and I hope to be here again next week. I'll stand by until the end and listen. 73 to all, and hope to see you next week. M0 AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yeah, Bob, it's always a pleasure to have you on the net. You know, it's so interesting to follow your activities, and particularly on what you can achieve with QRP. And take care, and we very much look forward to catching up with you again next Thursday. Thanks for joining tonight. Over to you for your final, Jeff, Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group. M0 AUG.
M0 AUG, the group 08 November Tango. Okay, first of all, very impressed by Keith with his circuit makers program. That's very interesting. I never did anything like that, but I would be fascinated to see some result of that. Looks really very interesting. And by the way, Keith, I made 105 contacts, and if I look into the log, on 10 meters, one of the last stations that I worked were Zulu 5 Romeo Alpha in Suriname, and then Juliet 35 X-ray, which is in Grenada or something. I forgot. But anyway, it was also the Caribbean. So, and quite some Americans, of which Kilo 3 Lima Zulu or Kilo 1 Lima Zulu, which is a big contest station. I think I worked them on 3 bands. So, yeah. So I did not that bad, actually, if I compare to your result, Keith. So that's quite interesting. And also interesting to see that 10 meters AM FM is active, as Fraser told us, so I should keep an eye on that too, because I really find this fascinating. Okido, and congratulations, John, on your contacts there with your QRP poll. That's really impressive. And PSK report is very interesting to really look where your signal is going down. Even there is no activity in those countries sometimes, or not that much activity. Okido. The next flight from the International Space Station, if anyone wants to try to get some slow scan TV pictures, is at 22:28 here in Europe, in Germany, Denmark, and Belgium. and I think at 21, 28 in the UK, or more or less about that for 10 minutes. So even if you cannot decode the slow scan TV pictures, it's still interesting to listening to the strange sounds. Okay, I would say 70 degrees. Jeff, thank you for sharing the net. Very nice to catch everyone and to have some interesting tips again from one and another. And I hope to catch you all next week on the Zoom session with Martin. Looks very promising. Mike Zero AUG, the group of an 8 November Tango, and there will be a picture after Keith. I will let Keith send the picture first. Mike Zero AUG of an 8 November Tango.
Well, 8 November Tango in the group. M0 AG turning. Yes, fine, all right, Jeff. And obviously after Keith, we'll get Nick to do the wrap up, and then perhaps you can both send the pictures over. For Martin's benefit, we do send a couple of pictures around on D-Star at the end of the nets on a Thursday evening. So over to you first of all, Keith, for your final, please. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZ. Yeah, fine there, Jeff. And yeah, I meant to say congrats to Bob on his 1476 contacts there. And let's hope that the party hat last week wasn't a trick on it. Okay, so I've got to thank you for running the net first. Very much appreciated, and good to hear everybody this evening. And not sure what's going on with the audio here, so if it's as good as the 74, I'm really pleased. Right, so the picture that I will be sending, just to give you a bit of background, it's my old boy, my old Springer Spaniel when he was around. He was used in a test, an experiment, to basically, it was tracking his eye line once different plates have been put in front of him with different foods. And what the process was to track his eye line from one position to work out which bowl he was looking at. Interestingly enough, he always went to the bowl that had the best quality food. It was all about food quality, so more of that in a minute. But he does look a bit like a Borg from Star Trek. I should say no more. Okay then, Jeff, back to you. M0AUG in the group from GM4JKZ Scottish Borders. That's Scottish Borders M0AUG returning. Yeah, thanks for joining the net and thanks for your contribution tonight. Before you both start sending pictures, I'll just go to Nick first of all. For you to wrap up the net there, Nick, and then we'll take pictures first from Keith and then from Jeff in Belgium. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff. Fantastic evening. Lots of great contributions. Thank you, everybody, for making this an interesting and lively net. And to Bob N4XAT, thank you for forwarding to me the email traffic between yourself and Karen after your QSO, and talking about Pennine Ham and her relating that she was excited and very much looking forward to meeting our group on the 4th of December. So that's really a great coincidence, and great for the club as well. Just a couple of bits that people will be interested in that I haven't been able to pen the members newsletter yet. I went back to the dentist this morning for part 2 of some root canal work. Anyone who's been there knows it's not the most pleasant dental experience in the world. So my excuses are pretty solid for just giving a pass to trying to sit down and do the newsletter during the day. We have agreed that we're going to participate in the Blackpool Rally, the Northern Amateur Radio Club's rally on Sunday, April the 13th, and asking for volunteers to look after the club stall that day, and give some thought about anything else we can do with the stall on April the 13th. We have also agreed to run some club activity periods on Monday the 30th of December If you remember, we had debates about a club net on HF, but it's very difficult to pick a frequency everyone can, and a band everyone can go on at the same time. So we thought we'd have a few periods on the period between Christmas and the New Year, so Monday the 30th of December, a few different periods during the day with different bands with operating frequencies to look out for the club call and to see if members can join in and make contacts between each other and the club that day at one point or another during the day. So if you miss one, hopefully pick it up on another. So we're going to just experiment with something slightly different there. But just running through what's coming up, we've got Martin, M1MRB next week, and looking forward to his talk on fault finding amateur radio equipment. 2 weeks later, Wednesday the 4th of December, we've got Karen, KD2 GUT, talking about what she gets out of our hobby and gives back to it, and her enjoyment in various bits of it, including POTA, which will be great. And on Wednesday, 11th of December, I'm not exactly sure at this stage who's going to be delivering it, but we've got a couple of people. I think it's going to be Bob and Nick. I can't remember their call signs off the top of my head now, from TX Factor, talking about the TV program TX Factor, which is run here in the UK, and looking forward to their presentation as well. So we've got some great talk coming up. And finally, on Wednesday, 18th of December, no speaker, but we're going to have an open meeting on Zoom, an open Christmas meeting. If you feel like being festive and bringing along your beer or your wine, you'll be very welcome. And I'll do my very best to keep everyone in order, and let's just have a little fun sign off to the time before Christmas, and just say hello to each other, have a bit of a chinwag, and then catch up later in the new year with a whole series of new programs. So lots going on, and thank you everyone for your fantastic support for what we're doing here with Pennine Ham. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
IWO in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yes, fine on that, Nick, and please, I do agree that the club will take a table at or two tables even at the NASFA rally in Blackpool next April. Obviously, God willing, I will be happy to help out on the stand there. It's not far from where I live, so that'll be quite good. So thanks for all the updates on that. And what we'll do now, thank you everybody for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed it being on the net, Martin, as well. And thanks for your contributions. And what we'll do now is just pause and then let's keep it in the borders and Jeff in Belgium.